Covering all things LEGO, from Minneapolis to Fiverton and LEGO cities beyond. It's breaking news.
Hey there, LEGO fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Breaking News Podcast. Do not adjust your transmission because what you're seeing is in fact for real. I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Federation Starship Enterprise. I have brought myself and my chair here, as well as my science officer, Mr. Spock, to introduce you to today's show. Spock, how are you?
I do not understand the question.
Well, the people at home just want to know how you're doing, that's all.
The question is irrelevant.
You know what? Never mind. I'm sorry I asked. Irregardless, the boys are on assignment, unavailable, or just too lazy to be here, so they've asked Spock and myself to introduce today's show. You see, we have a very special show lined up for you today because Jason is in a city called Chicago. It's a little city on the planet Earth. And in this little city is a show called Brickworld, where they have a lot of amazing creations made out of Lego bricks. And he is there with a special guest star, Joey, from Brick Trains. So that being said, what we would like to do is send the transmission over to Jason and Joey to show us some of the creations in Brickworld. What do you think about that, Mr. Spock?
Logical. Flawlessly logical.
Yes. I couldn't have said it better myself. With that being said, let's send it over to Joey and Jason for awesome news on Brickworld. Gentlemen.
Excuse me. Is this the bounty hunter meeting?
It's a guard. Kill it.
Thank you, Alex. So, it's me, Jason, here with a special co-host,
Joey for Brick Trains.
Brick Trains.
Or the A Fool podcast.
Well, those are the names we used to be known by. Now
right,
we are known as Where's Alex and
Where's Brick Czar?
Yeah, Where's Jabbo?
Yeah.
So, we're excited to be here at Brickworld Chicago. You can see lots of commotion, lots of people here today. We've actually been here a couple of days.
Yeah.
Shot a few things.
There was a lot more space.
Thank you for the Alex reference. So we're going to go through, we'll maybe highlight a few builds. We're going to show some of the things that are going on here.
Yep.
Found a few people that might be interested in talking to us.
Yeah.
Found a lot of people that probably aren't interested in talking to us. But we're going to go just kind of see what it's like at the show. And it'll be somewhat of a different episode, but Shall we go check it out?
Let's go check it out.
All right, so we are in the show. We've had a bit to check it out.
Yes.
Thought we could take a minute and chat because you and I are somewhat similar situations. We both have podcasts that we do a lot of work on.
Yes.
And we work with YouTube celebrities.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
I mean, the prima donnas, really.
They are. They really are prima donnas, yeah.
So I have Alex.
I've got Brick Czar.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Marty Grumman. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Earl.
No, so Jabbo, I mean, we're honestly, we know they're the ones that bring the audience,
They
right?
absolutely,
Or at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, it's up for debate. But
what if there's a rant involved?
So I thought it might be interesting to kind of ask you about how has, because you've done the podcast for what, about 4 years now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how has your channel changed since starting the podcast? Is it, number one, I guess, has it grown?
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
And how has your audience changed? And has it impacted, I guess, other content you do on your channel?
No, not really. I mean, I keep doing the same vintage reviews and stuff.
As Jabbo says, the same crap you always do.
Same crap. I get the feeling he wishes I would put more time into it and effort into the crap that I produce. So, you know, I'm working on it, Jabbo. I'll get better one of these days for you, buddy.
But how has it changed since you started? So the stuff you do is not different, but has your audience grown? Like that kind of impact, I guess.
Yeah, the channel audience has grown. I don't know that people come to watch me, and it's pretty relevant here because all I ever get asked here is, "Where's Brickzar?
Yes.
When's Brickzar going to show up?" No, you just got me.
That's all right. I'm glad you're here.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. It's good to meet you.
Yeah.
And Tanya, the
Yes.
camera person.
That's the part that's I guess pivoting.
Okay,
to
because
something
I
a
didn't
little
answer the
different.
question the way
Oh,
you
no,
wanted.
No, you're fine. This is kind of like the podcast. That's the one thing I think people really like our podcast, and I think yours as well. Is it's not. This is the question and this is the answer I'm looking for. It's just some people getting around. We enjoy each other's company.
And we talk about
we goof on
things.
each other,
Yes.
and we have kind of similar ideas on things. Not everything.
No.
Like, you know, for example, Alex collects cars. I don't.
Right.
We're going to pause for the wheels going by here.
The wheels on the bus go round
The
and
wheels
round.
on the garbage can go clank, clank, clank.
Clank, clank, clank.
Anyways, after our garbage can interruption,
Was that edited?
well, we'll see. We never know anymore. My wife.
If it was on my channel, it wouldn't be.
That is true. What were we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. It's been so long ago.
What were we talking about? Do you remember? You weren't even listening. See, the reason people like us.
Yes.
I shouldn't say
Us
that.
or the
The reason people tune in
Yes.
is because it's just a natural conversation.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not a scripted this or that. I mean, we have a few
We have notes.
things we do.
Yes.
You know, we talk about old guy, new shirt. We sometimes try to talk about the comments. Not always. Sometimes it's struggle.
Yeah.
You know, but
But, you know, it is literally just us sitting down having a conversation.
no.
You know, you guys are the same way. We have a couple quick bullet points that we want to talk. We're not talking about, you know, it's always late anyway, but we're not really talking about the news. It's, you know, things that have happened in our lives in the last couple weeks and things that have interested us in the community and in the news. But
And you talk to each other about your videos that you've done, like,
Yeah.
you know, because, I mean, Jabbo does them every day. We know that. Yeah. And, you know, so it's like, oh, you know, such and such on this video or build or, you know, whatever,
Right,
and you
right.
talk about that. So I think that's what people like. And it's interesting because a lot of people, it sounds like they tune in and just let it run in the background while they build.
yeah,
It's probably better because they don't see us.
see. Yeah, it is supposed to be an audio podcast.
Time out. Just in case you don't know, we may not be lookers of the
No,
YouTube.
no, we are not. Nobody's paying me for glamour shots, let me tell you.
So, how has the podcast changed over time? Because I've been going back and listening to them, and there's some things that I think are the same.
I was going to say, that's probably right now, that's probably a better question for you because you have been, you know, it's gotten a lot longer. We've gotten more comfortable with each other. We also, you kind of know there are things that are going to be funny that you know that if you say it'll be a hot button thing, but it'll be funny. Or you get a rant, you know, you're going to get a rant out of Alex if you say something right. You know, in the beginning, we didn't know
Like
those
I like Lego.
Yeah. I'm afraid of Lego. Is that a better sound clip for you?
Well, you know, that's funny you mentioned that because I've told Alex I listen to the podcast differently now when you guys go because I listen for little things like, oh, that's a gold right there. That's a future episode. So
yeah.
just a warning, guys. Watch what you say. I think they already know that, but
Yeah, well, and it's pretty obvious. Yeah, as soon as I say something, it's like, oh no, that's gonna end up on breaking news.
Alex does the same thing
Yeah.
now. And I see him like,
Yeah, it's all fair game, right? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think back in the beginning when we first started doing it, we didn't have that. We didn't mesh together. I can watch the first episode and I was like, wow, this is cringeworthy.
Yeah.
You know, But you get comfortable, and you guys are doing the same. And then we've gotten comfortable with each other, the two podcasts. So, because we kind of know that we know the things that are going to, again, set off the humor, but it kind of pushes that button. Poor Earl. He has too many buttons.
His internet.
His internet is one. We're gonna need to start a GoFundMe, not for Earl, but for Louisiana. They need better internet in Louisiana.
That's funny.
Maybe all the hurricanes. I don't know.
I don't know. So, okay. Okay, so this is the... Yeah,
Do you have the buffering symbol? Because that's exactly what just happened.
I don't know. This is where we can cut it. I can cut it.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just leave it us standing here looking like idiots.
The bar's not set real high. Come on.
Yeah. Well, Alex isn't here. They're not watching this week. I already know that. I sorry to tell you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I mean, can you give him a space?
Space.
We'll give that
not
a
Alex.
5.
Okay, hang on. Space. No,
That's pretty good. I'll take that. Okay. What do you think? Is that good? Okay. Off camera, producer wasn't paying attention. Says it's good.
Put your phone down, Tanya.
No, she's got to watch this later.
Oh.
Got to get at least one view. So, okay, so this is the other thing I'll ask you. So coming to conventions like this, have you noticed something different since you've done the podcast?
Well, yeah, I think it's the same thing you've noticed. Yeah, when I come to the convention...
I've noticed you're a big deal.
I'm not as big a deal as you. The only thing the only thing that I'm a big deal is apparently I'm an information booth. Because everybody comes up, where's Jabbo? Where's Brickzar? Is he here? When's he showing up?
Well, so you got to advertise that before.
I thought I did. Jabbo, you're not coming? I don't know.
Put that in the thumbnail.
I'm getting
Jabbo will not be there.
You know what? It's right now. This is the moment. I'm making shirts. I don't know when Jabbo's going to show up or something clever. I got to think, but I'm going to have a shirt with Jabbo's picture on it. Brickzar.
I got it for you.
Okay.
You have Jabbo's face.
Yep.
And you say, Jabbo's not here, but underneath you have, but I'm Jabbo adjacent.
I like it. I like it. Shirts coming. Yeah. Shirts coming soon. I don't know where Jabbo's at.
What's wrong? Is it not recording? Did we move?
I can't sit still.
Joey's trying to run away.
So where's Alex? When's he coming?
I don't... Okay, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have the three of you ever been together in person?
The three of us, no.
Because you've met Jabbo in person.
Yes.
You went to Brick Fair, Alabama, or whatever.
Brick Fair, Alabama, several times, yeah. And then we shut it down.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently that's the thing we do.
Now, have you met Earl in person?
I have not.
You have not?
I've never met Earl.
That might change, I hear.
It may change this weekend, yeah. Wow. He's going to see his daughter, which is in the same state that I live in.
So she's in Indianapolis.
She's in
area,
Indianapolis,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So you can't hardly get to Indianapolis from his house, from Louisiana, without going through the town I live next to.
Stop at your light?
He has to stop at my light. It's almost...
I know he loves that.
Yeah. So. One stoplight light.
Yeah.
It's a good thing nobody from Mount Vernon actually watches the podcast. They'll be like, there's actually 3 stoplights in your town, Joey. There's one on each end, in the middle.
So, going back to the podcast, I'll ask you this, because you, like the early episodes, especially when I first caught on to the podcast, I mean, you had a decent little following, right?
Right,
You weren't like...
Few hundred at the most.
You know, some of them, you'd get some that were over 1,000 maybe here or there.
Right.
But then all of a sudden something happened. And it's funny because it had nothing to do with me, but around the time I was on it was when I started watching because Alex had been on.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to get more than him. He was like at 2,000 views.
Right.
And between the time we recorded my episode, which is about 10 days between you record and it uploads, like the next day his started like blowing up.
Right.
And I'm watching it go up like 1,000 a day. And so you had a good handful of videos.
Yeah, we had probably about 4, maybe 6 episodes in there that hit well over 60, some of them over 100,000 views.
Yeah, they were going up and up because I
Yeah.
remember when Alex hit like 30 for a while, he was around 30 something and was like the highest.
Right.
And I was like, of course, he's cheating.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you've had a few go over 100.
Yes.
What was that like? Because I mean,
It was
my
awesome.
biggest thing, I got 10,000 and I was like, I can't believe it. Like,
Right.
but you have a few videos that have more than my entire channel has.
No, it makes you feel good. You know, it's like, oh, that's cool. We're really, you know, reaching a lot of
You're a big
people.
deal.
We're a big deal. You know, and I, you know, I attributed a lot of it. It was, you know, maybe Jabba was doing something on his channel that was helping drive traffic to it. I don't know. We never really figured that out.
And you
but
started using the podcast feature early on because
We
I know
did.
that was a speculation. It
we
seemed
thought-
like maybe.
I think it had something to do with the podcast feature because YouTube sent me an email and saying, hey, we want you to do this as your podcast and you're going to get that feature. And it was probably a month before I saw it anywhere else or heard anybody else really doing it. But we tagged a playlist as a podcast, and it did. It felt like after that point we had got at least several thousand more views for a while. But then something happened, and they started going into the stratus for us. 100,000 views on the videos and stuff.
Yeah. That's
And I
crazy.
Don't know why. We honestly, my opinion is, I think the algorithm thought it was a food podcast because my analytics said that everybody was snacks and chips is what they were looking at.
Which is funny because really, Alex and I are more of a snack food channel.
You guys
than
are
you
the
guys
snack
are.
food channel, yeah.
And that's a whole different thing. If you've been following, you probably know this. We didn't do it forever.
No.
And so originally, I'll let you on a little tip. Originally, when I posed the idea of doing a podcast to Alex,
Right.
I said, what if we do this? We'll have like a food item and, you know, it'll be something maybe local we'll sample. I don't know, something like that. And we can eat and talk about Lego and it'll be Bricks and Bites. That was the name I gave him.
Very good. Yeah.
And he was very concerned about people that were feeling adverse to people eating on camera, which I understand there are some people. And we've had comments, people don't like the sound, and I get that.
Right.
That's why we don't do, we were like, we're not going to do anything crunchy, and we got 2 packages full of chips. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like after we said no crunchy, then anyways.
Yeah. My wife thought that was very amusing. Why are you sending the potato chips? They don't want crunchy chips.
But, you know, the other part that's amusing is Alex complains, I hate the food segment, as he's eating gummy bears.
I was going to say,
So, you know,
the
what
man
can we
puts
say?
away more gummy bears than I've ever seen on any other YouTube channel.
So, I
I don't
know-
want to do snacks.
I know he doesn't like pranks, but I'll tell you this.
Okay.
I've thought about sneaking a sugar-free gummy into his thing.
Oh.
I won't ever do it, Alex, please. Maybe. No.
Let me send him
If you
some
don't know
gummies.
the deal with sugar-free gummies, look it up.
Oh.
The reviews are
I can't, I mean, because
hilarious.
a gummy is just sugar. How do you sugar-free just sugar?
Well, have you read the reviews on what happens
No.
with the sugar-free gummies?
No, what happens? Oh, I don't
I'll
want to
just
know,
tell you to
do
look
I?
it up. You got to look it up.
I don't wanna know.
The Amazon reviews, they are hilarious. Some of them are very graphic about what happens if you eat too many.
So I'm guessing they substituted sugar with oil.
We'll just leave it at that. Like,
Okay.
anyways.
All right. Alrighty.
So, all right. Cool. I guess that's the other thing we'll talk about.
Okay.
So we kind of have, you had your show going on a couple years, and all of a sudden, this younger couple guys started a podcast, and what about this? Like, there's kind of this morphing.
There
I mean,
is. We're separate.
we're separate, but not. If you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, I remember the first time, like, the leading story you guys talked about on the AFU podcast was the breaking news. And I told my wife, I'm like, we've made it. And then that video got like 800 views. So we didn't make anything.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because you guys do it on Tuesday.
Yes.
Right. We do it on every other Wednesday.
Well, we don't film on Tuesday. We film on who knows what day.
Yeah,
Whatever
so-
day Alex is free from the media empire.
You're right.
We
yeah.
release
well,
it
the
on
land
Tuesday.
keeps him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we record on Wednesday.
Okay.
You release on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, as we're doing our show notes, it's a list of things that we want to try to talk about. What is the most freshest thing in our mind? Oh yeah, the breaking news, because we just watched it yesterday. So you guys are, hey, did you guys see what Jason did? Did you see what Alex? Yeah. So, because again, it's just a couple of guys. It's me and a couple guys sitting around just talking about the things that are happening.
That's the thing. And for those of you thinking about doing a podcast, content. You got to come up with something.
Yeah.
And not just any content. Hopefully, interesting content.
Yeah, we actually got called the gold standard. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the gold standard has slipped to. We did run into Shy earlier, and I did confirm that. I don't know. He's probably at a party. He's partying.
Thank you. He's with the real YouTubers. Actually, yeah, I haven't seen any of them today.
No. Oh, but I saw a picture. Yeah. They are here. The Cali crew is here.
Yes.
And I thought, why are they in my hotel room? They're in my hotel.
In your hotel room?
It looked like they were. Then I realized, or whatever, I was like, oh, all the Renaissance rooms look the same. It's the same picture, the same everything. But I was like, I literally, when I saw the picture, I looked on it, I was like, why is the Cali group in my room? What's my wife doing? Throwing parties or something. Or a bunch of people she has no idea who they are. Sorry.
Oh,
I had a point. We were talking about something before I said Shy. Oh, the gold standard.
Yes.
I had a point about the gold standard. You may actually have to edit while I buffer.
Oh, no, I'm not editing this. You better come up with something good. You make it up, man.
I'm making it up, right. At any rate, I don't think we're the gold standard for sure. I don't remember what I had to say. I literally have forgotten.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, this isn't...
That's what happens on the podcast.
Well, exactly.
Oh, that was it. You were talking about podcast content. Yeah. So this isn't... I'm not trying to... Sometimes content that is well crafted doesn't come across as genuine. It's good stuff, right? But I think people watch our stuff because it is just genuine. It's just us talking. So.
Yeah. Sometimes that stuff that seems too polished.
Yeah.
Just, it's scripted and fake.
I feel that way sometimes.
That's the one thing that I think really kind of kicked off our podcast. Was the first time Alex kind of really ranted.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. Because we've done a few things that have flopped. Like a blind build, that didn't go over. Alex didn't like it. I don't know how I got roped into doing the first one. I didn't like it.
But but you can tell that, right? No. So if you guys are doing something and you don't feel good about it, right? Or you're forced, one of you or whatever's forced. Yeah. It's the same thing for us. If there's a topic or something and one of us is not into the topic, and I know there are several topics. There's been a couple topics where it's me and Earl talking, and Jabble kind of fades away, and we, it's just because either it's the content that we're talking about, but it's things that maybe it needs to be said, or we're just. But when the three of us, one of us drops out of that conversation, and I've done the same thing. I've dropped out and let Earl and Jabble talk. You could feel it. You can tell. There's now all of a sudden it's a little different.
Well, I would say my point of view on this is most of the podcast is you and Jabbo talking. And Earl sitting there in the bushes waiting to snipe.
Yeah.
He's got his rifle ready and, okay, I'm going to poke the bear now. Yeah. That's what he does.
Earl does really good at putting things on the show notes that are going it's going to...
Well, that's why he puts a lot of comments in ours, because he knows it'll get Alex going.
Yes.
He says stuff like that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we go check out a little bit more of the show?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
There's some really cool stuff here.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
they're filling up the space.
Well, there's a few things. Maybe we'll do a blind build.
Okay, yeah.
Something else. I don't know. Let's go.
Yeah.
See, we can do community commentary. We'll find a few things.
Yeah.
Doing the blind build, Brick Trains and I, and it's an Ninjago set, of course. I'm having PTSD flashbacks already.
Okay, on your marks, get set, build.
I think mine's broken.
Done.
How am I doing? Is it good?
Well, I've got all the black parts sorted to one side and the blue parts sorted to the other.
You do,
So yeah, that's working in my favor. it's all in the touch.
Is there like a gradient too?
Yes, the blue is slightly cooler.
And he knows cool.
I know, cool.
Dude. No. Not it. That it?
Not it.
Sign me up.
Not it.
And I talked to Jabbo and
Oswald's bored and stiff.
I'm like, well, there's a person.
Oh, you do have to make tracks. I just realized that. Thank you, Joey.
You're
It's
so
like little
welcome.
tank tracks.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Are there any parts that are off the tray?
Yeah, two
Ah,
over
crap. There's stuff not on the tray?
here. Yep.
Well, that might be why I can't find them.
You're not there yet.
Oh,
trust
something fell on
me.
the ground.
Seriously.
It's not really going to make a difference. Boy, I suck. I was
That's-
going to win until the lights
Till
went
the
off.
lights went out, yeah.
Then I couldn't see anything.
I was in the lead.
Good luck with the stupid track.
Are you to the track? Oh, you turned your page.
I got one of those done.
So here we go. The young guy is winning here. He's
May I ask what step are you on?
Oh, I'm on
He's
part
on
of 7, part of 10. I'm just whatever I feel the piece, I start throwing it on there.
He's just making his own thing.
When I get done, it's gonna be awesome. Everything is awesome.
Are we going to keep going there, Joey?
I say let's just see where we're at.
You want to see where we're at?
Unless you want to continue this video for the next 2 hours.
Well, I'm pretty close, actually.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, we can show.
I'm not. So okay.
You want to show?
Yeah, let's show.
Okay. Yeah, we need
Hang on,
lights.
let's turn the lights on. Yep. Does it help if I have the pieces that I was working on? Nope, I wasn't.
Oh, my
close.
sword fell off. I started building the guy, and I built one of my tracks.
Nice.
You did? Oh man, you get credit for. See,
So I
look.
built one of the tracks, and I started the guy. Do you know why I did this?
Why?
I'm like, this is going to get rid of so
Pieces,
many parts.
yes,
Because I
it's a
kept
great
having
idea.
trouble.
I wish I would have done a system.
All right.
That knot is, we're going to have to do something about that knot.
Okay. Okay.
So, are you familiar with YouTube?
I've heard of you too.
You've heard of it? Okay, well, that's a good start. That's a good
Okay.
start. So we run a little podcast. It's 3 senior citizens, I will say, that we talk about Lego, and that's what our podcast stands for, is adult fans of old Lego.
Oh, that's the
So,
second. Oh, got it.
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
So we talk about a lot of old Lego. Jason runs a podcast called Breaking News, and he's.
Have you ever heard of Breaking News?
I have not heard of Breaking News.
Have you ever heard of the A-Fool podcast?
Not before I met the two of you guys.
There you go. Yeah.
Would you be interested in hearing old guys talk about a little Lego and just being old?
I can relate to both of those things.
There you go.
That's our audience.
That's
All
our,
right.
you're our
I'm in the
demographic.
target demographic.
Yes,
right
you
here.
are. You are. So.
Well, I'll
Very
give
good.
you one of these and you can check it out if you're interested.
Yes, please do.
So there's a stand.
All right.
And here's one for mine. That's an NFC, so scan it with your phone, and it'll take you to the.
Oh,
the-
that's clever.
Yep.
All right.
A lot of people say they watch it while they sort their Lego.
Yeah,
They
that's
just
so that's
turn it on
kind
in
of
the
makes it
background.
interesting because everybody's like, we always listen. We're sorting Lego, and we'll just have you guys on in the background, both our channels. So.
Yeah. Well, we got some great
Synergy,
synergy going
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Not cynicism, synergy.
No, we have
some of
plenty.
that.
Yeah,
Some of that
plenty
too.
of that too. So.
Yeah, we're all about sorting and organizing, so that's a great mix.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and hope
Nice.
you watch the channel.
Yeah,
And,
nice to meet both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, excellent.
All right, so I am here with Alex Kostelik. This is a different Alex, not the normal Alex.
The other Alex.
The other guy. That's one of our jokes.
Yeah.
So we have a podcast. You've communicated with Alex.
Yep.
On the podcast. And what is your role with Lego or Bricklink?
So my technical role is I'm Senior Project Manager of the Bricklink Designer Program.
Okay.
What that entails is pretty much oversee the daily running of the Bricklink Designer Program.
Okay.
So.
And how long have you been involved with the Bricklink Designer? Because it's been going on a couple years.
Yeah.
Under, I guess, testing phases, right? Mm-hmm. And were you there for all of that, or are you newer to the role?
No. So I wasn't there for any of the pilot, what we would consider the pilot phases. That would be the 2021 Invitational.
Okay.
No. So I've been here with Lego Group for about a little over a year and a half. So I joined December 2022.
All right.
So I'm trying to think back to what day it was exactly. I know I started, it was the first week of December, it was a Monday.
Okay. That
Friday is when we announced Series 1 publicly.
Wow. Okay.
So I was literally brought on board to help lead this program. I was kind of slowly stepping into taking full leadership of it. So, so it's been, a long ride here. I guess it feels like a long ride, but it's been a year and a half, and it's crazy seeing that these sets are finally coming out, and they're actually real.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see them because we ordered them, what was it, February, I think, when they were, and that was just when we could support them, let alone the voting and all of that stuff before. Yep. So, but now it's like, the next one's out, and, we're going to be, we just bought those, so. What's the plan for it long term? Is it going to be like a certain number every year? Or?
Keep going. So it's the same. It's every 4 months, starts off a new cycle. Okay. And that cycle is a year and a half. We actually work backwards off of when our production slot's available. So I know people always ask, 30,000, where are you at with that? So that's our production slot. That's what we have. We're planning those 2 years out and ahead of time. And then we work, a year and a half? Uh-huh. It's like, 18 months? It's really like 17 months, something like that. Okay. We work backwards from that. But every February is an intake period. Every May is an intake period. Every September is an intake period. And it'll be that same way every year. Okay. So as this keeps happening, there will always be 5 programs or series in cycle or development at all times. So right now you're seeing Series 1 is just starting to ship. Series 5 just started off. Yep. Series 6 pallet goes out July 1st. So just as Series 1 is wrapping up, Series 6 is just starting. Wow. So we always kind of have something in the pipeline. Yep. You have sets will always launch July 1st, November 1st, May 1st, or March 1st. Okay. And then that kind of, crowdfunding always will be first week of February, first week of June, maybe first week of October. There's something big launching. Okay. October 3rd, so we'll be October 8th.
Okay. So, yeah. All right. So what is something you would want people to know that maybe the normal person doesn't realize about the Bricklink program? Is there anything about it that you think, a message I guess you're trying to get out about it, anything like that?
Yeah, I guess we probably the biggest thing is that, I guess, what's the purpose of these sets is maybe a good place to start with that. Yeah. We have what are normal Lego system sets, and then there are mocks over here, and then we're somewhere in the middle.
The gray area.
Yeah, we want to be best of both, I guess it would be the way to put it. So we want the detail of mocks, we want the stability of Lego sets, and the kind of the polish of a Lego set, while avoiding, the more detail you have, the more fragility you have. Lego sets, I don't want to say that they just don't have the detail that a Lego set has. Lego sets just don't have the detail that a mock has. But it's because they want the stability. So it's like we want somewhere in between there. BDP sets are not meant to be Lego system sets, if that makes sense. We're closer to mocks, but we're also not full mocks, where when you build a mock, if you've ever built someone's mock, it's a grab bag of an experience. So we do go through the full Lego process. It's just the only difference is instead of the Lego designer starting off the build, it's a fan designer starting the build. And then we go through the whole process. So that's what that full year and a half is. There's a year of us refining the design, going through various quality checks, and then ending up with a finished product.
Because one of the things people have commented about Bricklink, the designer program, versus the ideas set. The ideas is I think kind of the same thing. People submit a thing and then Lego makes it, right?
Right.
But then the set comes out and there's quite a bit difference. The trees are slimmed down, and that's what you hear a lot of the complaints about. These generally are not really altered. Are they altered at all, I guess, would be the first question?
Yeah, so for the first two series, Series 1 and Series 2, our thought was they're going to be 99% the same. Because the opposite side of that is, Lego Ideas, they're making models for the general audience. So they're not always going to be kind of in the exact same vein. It's the idea, right? Whereas BDP, we were thinking, oh, well, it'll be exactly the same. This is the model you voted on, is the model you're going to get. Bar, we're going to make some corrections for stability-related things. If there's some, illegal part techniques, when we say illegal, things that are stressing the elements beyond their normal parameters, that kind of stuff, we would just make those changes. Series 1 and 2, we did that. Series 1 crowdfunding comes around, and we release the images of the sets. So all images and pricing usually launch. It will always go live the first of the month before we start crowdfunding. So like you saw that for May this year for a June 6th launch. And then it was kind of like, oh, well, we thought you were going to do a little bit more. And it's like, well, no, we were going to do exactly. We did exactly what we could to keep it as same as possible. Now, starting with Series 3 a little bit, and then Series 4 a little bit more, we're changing and we're adding more detail. We're not changing the models. We're just trying to give them a little extra polish give them extra detail. Minifigure counts is always something. Certain models, it doesn't make sense to add more minifigures. Something like Lost City, there's 2 minifigures because they're the explorers exploring the temple.
That makes sense.
You don't want a whole bunch of other minifigures in there. Or like Logging Railway, it doesn't make sense to have more than 3 minifigures in it because there's only 3 spots on the train for them.
But in Castle,
people
want all the knights they can get.
In Castle, right. And our initial thought was, well, there's not any special elements in these sets, so people can just go and pick a brick, and instead of adding more minifigures and that increasing the price, they can just get exactly what they want, especially if they don't agree with what the makeup or the layout of the minifigures are. So that was the initial thought, and then feedback from the community came back differently. So we said, okay, well, we can go this route. This is not a problem. We're very happy to do this. And it actually gives the fan designers more creativity, and then they have access to more elements as well, because they're not just limited to what was in the palette previously. There's additional elements that come out afterwards. So, for example, in Series 4, the Medieval Seaside Market, those sets were announced basically right as final. I think they were maybe a week or two after Medieval Town Square launched. And so all of those parts are now available, and there's a ton of new castle torsos. And torsos are always our limiting factor in BDP. So we were able to add other minifigures to there that tied into other sets that came out. So like the Tax Collector, that torso that's in there, that's now, that's a possibility to be added in. And something you'll see and helps tie into the story of other sets that are going on too. So
because I was going to ask you about that. Is it's basically just the parts that Lego produces now, right? That's what it is? Is the exception, I guess, the stickers? Do they get to design those, or how does that work?
So stickers are the one thing that are unique to BDP sets. And not every set has always had stickers with it. So, for example, for Series 1, the only one set didn't have stickers, that was Mountain Fortress. Moving forward, what we're trying to do is have stickers in every set, at least, so not every fan designer had the ability to, or graphic design experience, or knew how to use part designer really well, and so they didn't always have those in their models. Now that's something that we always work with the Lego graphic designers to recreate the stickers, and I'm sure you've seen with the models now, you see, here's what the fan interpretation of it was, and then here's the actual Lego sticker. That's something we're trying to add to every model now too, so that there's just that extra level, or that kind of just to elevate it a little bit more. And then that also helps benefit some of the fan designers that didn't quite have that experience. Or also it helps encourage other new potential fan designers from trying to do stickers, knowing that they'll be redesigned anyways.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, appreciate you taking some time.
Absolutely.
To share this with us. I know there's a lot of excitement around a lot of these builds, and looking forward to see what comes out later.
Absolutely.
So,
that's what we're here for.
I don't know if you've had a chance to check out our podcast. We actually have been going around asking people if they've heard of the Bricking News podcast.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Before I mentioned it?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
The other Alex.
That's all right. We'll give you this. This is a tile and then a sticker. You can check it out if you'd like. So
Excellent.
If you like old guys talking about getting old and maybe Lego, might be something for you.
Weird. It
So,
sounds weirdly familiar to me.
Yeah. So, anyways. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. So, can we ask you a few questions, sir?
By all means.
All right. What's your name?
My name's Josh from Josh Build Stuff.
Oh, okay. On YouTube?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. All right. And where are you from?
Right now, Austin, Texas.
Okay. So I just have a question. We run a couple of podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're familiar with YouTube.
Familiar with YouTube and podcasts.
All right, cool. Have you ever heard of the A Fool podcast?
No.
Okay. It stands for Adult Fans of Old Lego.
Okay.
So
have you thought about old fans
old guys.
of adult Lego?
Well, it is old fans.
11, 18 plus set.
I think it's a whole other podcast.
I think we fit that demographic, right? We're all old fans.
Okay, and then the podcast I run is a separate one. It's called Bricking News.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's my favorite podcast.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 2 minutes ago, yeah, I've heard really great. I'm looking forward to watching an episode. It seems like a lot of fun.
So what's your favorite part? Is it the part where we don't talk about Lego?
Yeah.
Or we talk about being old?
That's the worst part about this whole place. Everyone here's talking about Lego.
Or is it really the part where we talk about Jabbo wearing a different t-shirt every day?
That man is a legend, and I will accept no slander of Jabbo.
Well, we would never do that.
No, I wish he was here. Hey, Jabbo, did you watch this? Or?
He's on his
That's what I
podcast.
get asked all the time. Where's Brickstar?
Yeah, he doesn't travel apparently.
Yeah, that's our joke, is I'm known as Where's Alex and he's Where's Jabbo. Or Brickstar.
He should make his own shirts. It's a missed opportunity.
But he's too busy running 18 different channels and
he uploads
Bricklink
more
and
consistently than any of us. And he's a treasure.
Well, see, but I think the thing is, he just goes and shoots from the hip and doesn't care what it is.
I've never seen a cut in his videos. It's no, I don't
That
think
is
he's ever
true.
edited.
Well, not on purpose.
No.
I think there's been a cut, but it wasn't. It's like, oh crap, I messed up the microphone or something.
Also, is this the podcast? Is this happening right now?
This is just an intro.
Well, this is part of our
This
podcast.
feels like a conversation you would have on a podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of. That's what it is. If it feels awkward, then we're achieving the goal.
I mean, this feels very natural, so I think this would be a good podcast if you have natural
This is how we,
conversations.
yeah,
like
Well,
this.
see,
how we do, yeah.
that's what happens when we bring real podcasters in. It becomes good.
You know, Shai's not here right now, so he's a real podcaster.
I know. I got to look for him. We got to bring some
around.
cool to the episode. So,
I won't deny that, yeah. Bring him in.
all right. Well, thank you for your time, and you can check out the podcast.
Really liked it, and then the next year, right when I came in and started setting up, she comes over this side, 2 bags of monorail tracks. She's like, "Here, I want you to have these."
Oh.
I'm like, "Oh, these are worth so much money.
Yeah.
Sell these." She's like, "I don't want to sell them. You love this. I
Yeah.
want these to go to somebody, you know, who's
That'll
gonna
use them.
appreciate
Yeah,
them and
yeah,
use
yeah.
them and everything."
So I found a friend of the show. Can we call you that? Is that okay?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't tune into every single episode as they release.
Well, and I don't have friends, so
Oh.
we're both new to this.
Good.
So I figure without Alex on the episode, you could bring some coolness factor.
You could have just sat on the stage.
Yeah, that's No.
Is that too much for you?
I'm not. I saw the poster that they're having the YouTube thing. Are you a special guest?
No, I
saw a special surprise.
Not a special guest.
Are you sure?
I swear to God.
Because I might stay if that's the
That
case.
is not me.
Okay.
I promise you.
I know. You know, Joey and I, Brick Trains, we've had to quell some rumors telling people it's not us. It's not us.
So
not
Big
us.
Czar's not going to show up out of nowhere and give us a surprise introduction?
Oh, no.
Oh.
It's funny. We actually were over at lunch, and I was talking. We were eating, and this kid was next to me, and I asked him, I'm like, how are you enjoying the show? And talked to him a little bit. He was probably, I don't know, 7, and his dad was there, and I guess it was Grandpa that came over.
Oh.
We were talking to him, and we were talking for a second. He's like, wait, you're Jason. Where's Alex?
Sorry, man.
So it was funny. I just laughed. Joey was laughing. So, anyways, I want to talk to you about your podcast.
Okay.
Because you had a channel.
Yes, I had a channel.
Well, you still have it.
I still have a channel.
Let's go back in time. You had a channel at that point.
Okay.
That was what I was meaning.
Alrighty.
So you had a channel that you still have today. What's up, okay? And then you decided to start a new channel.
Yeah.
Why did you not put it on your regular channel? Why did you?
Shy Time is my time?
Yes.
So why do a podcast channel and not on my actual channel?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
That's what you're.
Because Alex and I, we do ours.
Yeah, I know. You should have done it on one channel to begin with. I'm the one that's pushing for that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a separate podcast channel.
I know, but you're just putting clips of it.
We're getting there.
When you should reverse that.
Well, I was worried Alex would be like, no, there's nothing in it for me. I don't know if there's anything in it for him now, but
I'm about to say. No, I mean, it's completely up to you. I've seen it done many ways. But if you want to really go with like the YouTube algorithm, you want to have niche. So why would you like separate it? When the audience for your channel just want to watch you, your audience for Alex's channel just wants to watch Alex.
Yeah.
The crossover is maybe there just a little bit, but the people who are tuning in for a show want to come in for a show. So what you really want is the algorithm or audience notification for YouTube to know that once this pops up, people that are going to watch the whole thing. Mm-hmm. If you have that same thing on your regular channel where they only watch like 5 minutes of it, it kind of messes up the retention rate and it messes up who they want to recommend your video to.
Okay. So, how's it going with your new channel?
Pretty good. Like the retention rate's high. People who want to be there want to be there. It doesn't. You don't have like ghost followers that just subscribe for no reason. It's. We had a success with Cali Brickworld, and then if you want to get paid money,
there's all the thresholds.
You want to hit the you want to hit all the ads, so you want them to listen. So if you want to both out of your buck, own channel. But for me, sitting on soup, I'm not doing it for money.
That's why Alex and I are.
Yeah, so I have a job. Like I'm completely fine.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I do actually.
Good job.
I do have a job.
I'm proud of you.
I do have a job. So like, I don't.
Is it YouTube?
It's not YouTube.
Okay.
It is not. But I don't need any of this stuff. So like, the sitting on the stoop, although it's like a very tiny portion of my YouTube sphere, it's my passion project, and I love doing it. I love talking to you. I love talking to everyone here individually, as opposed to how it was with Cali Brickworld when we're far, far away, and there's that barrier that is not real. That's there, but it's not like that confines your true emotion, your intent, and your facial, all that stuff. Whereas the true conversation like we have right now is something that I truly cherish and love about the Led community as a whole. So I'm just kind of putting that in a video format.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I really like about your podcast. If you haven't watched, check it out. Sitting on a Stoop, by the way. There's a plug for you.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe to that. All that stuff. Anyway, no, what I like about your podcast is you are in person.
Yes.
Right? Like that's a thing because, there's other podcasts and it works to have, via stream or Zoom or whatever. But there is a different dynamic there.
Yeah.
Because people have asked us, why don't you guys have more guests? It's like, well, we're in Utah.
The one with Cody was a great one. I love that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love Cody, so.
So you're biased.
I was biased.
Okay. Yeah. No.
And then, that was bad. Oh, you got it. He's saved. Whew, you would have got that on film. You would have got that on film.
And we would have been in the way.
And we would have been. Well, actually, it was a clear shot. It was nice.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to do that. We'll just see. We're doing it right now. You're a guest. Think about this. You're a guest.
Is this gonna be on that channel?
This is on the Breaking News channel.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Maybe I'll put it in the pre-cap. What do you think about the pre-cap? You know, I've started doing that.
I think you do it too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah. I think it's like you drop it before the actual.
Well, that's why it's a pre-cap and not a recap.
That's why you do it. You should do it like before the weekend.
So we started doing it on Saturday. The one dropped today for next week.
Then never mind. Forget what I'm saying.
We're learning.
Yeah.
We're new.
Or what you can do is that you can put that, take the best parts of that, and put it in the beginning of the podcast. So when people are actually listening to it, just the best parts. Don't put the whole 2 minutes. Do like 30 seconds of whatever you think is the best thing ever. And then that's what you want to say on the stupid. It keeps people like, oh, this is what's going to be spoken about.
Yeah.
And then they want to listen to the whole thing. Because a lot of people, you have 30 seconds to keep people like from clicking off. So.
Well, people, they just like to wait and hear Alex do stupid stuff.
I mean, you guys have the your audience has a retention span of proper, real people. So, yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Well, I think our audience, no offense, but they're probably too old to figure out where the next button is.
That's true.
So they're like, well, I'm stuck with this now.
They're probably watching on the TVs, too.
That a lot do, actually.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
So, another quick thing I want to touch on. So you came from California, and you brought something to display.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, I couldn't bring something big this time because I was filming Sauce episodes all over Chicago and here as well. So
Sauce? What's Sauce?
Sitting on a Soup. It was a plug.
Oh, it's a podcast.
Yeah,
okay.
So
you should check it out. I'm helping you out.
Oh, okay.
Go with it. I'm not
editing. I'm not Alex. I don't get it.
Neither does he.
So because I'm already traveling with like $8,000 to $10,000 worth of equipment, I couldn't bring anything big because also I couldn't check in more than 2 stuff. So that would have been another bag. That
you could have drove like us.
Nah. And then for California, that's too long. And then so this time I brought something that can fold into my suitcase, and then it's kind of a Memorial Day mock. I was trying to get it out before Memorial Day, but it didn't happen. It was actually supposed to be a lot longer.
Okay.
It was supposed to be force perspective, so like the tombs in the beginning were big versus going
and then
inwards.
I got you.
But they said they needed space, so I'm like, all right. So I just cut the force perspective part out, and I just kept the back portion of it. And then they said you had the space, and then I'm like, it's too late now. I'm not building. So, and then what I have there now is the end part of that.
I think it looks great.
Thank you.
So, do you have this at home? Do you display it?
No. So I have a smaller version of it that I did like last year.
Okay.
I wanted to amplify it even further because whenever you go to a veteran cemetery, you're always overwhelmed by all the tombstones that are lined up perfectly, right? So I kind of want to do that same aspect with the forest perspective.
And that's why you want it to be longer,
that's why I wanted
because
to
you
be
really get that effect.
Yeah. But I couldn't do that, so I just kind of expanded on the mini mock I did last time. Okay. Added the tree that I like to put all over my cities and illegal building technique flag. But the whole thing is called Thank You for Your Service, but it takes place during taps. Familiar with taps? It's like the trumpet when it plays when we lower caskets or lower the flag, or even when we bring down the flag. That's what we play.
Yep.
So that happens during sunset. So at night, when this is actually all dark in here and all the lights, you'll be able to see it in a better, like how I intend you to see it.
Okay. Well, if I'm clever enough, we might see it here.
Oh, no, I know you're going to do it. You're actually pretty good at your editing.
We'll see. Sometimes I forget.
Okay.
If I get home and realize I didn't get video.
I mean, the fact that you're editing gives me like Cali Brickworld vibes in our old podcast because I used to do the same thing. So, hey, good job. I commend you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I guess one other thing, for those that don't know, why did you pick a military theme? Is there
a reason?
Yeah.
Because
don't make it too sad. I know that's what you're thinking.
No. I mean, it's like right off Memorial Day.
Because that's something for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, not for me, but for a lot of people who who've lost over there. Yeah. But I was supposed to build this before Memorial Day. I wanted to get it done, but for just time, I just couldn't do it, and I didn't make a video about it. So I figured I wanted to share it. So this is my best way to do it. It's easy to pack, easy to load, easy to build in case it shatters. And when I finished it, it turned out very well. In fact, all those bricks in the back are all from Javel's store.
Oh, really?
Well, it was actually supposed to be way bigger than this, but again, I shrank it. And thanks, Javel. Appreciate you.
All right. Anything else you want to throw out? Plug? You want to talk about throw out a plug for your podcast?
No, but I mean, check out Sauce, Sitting on a Stoop, anywhere you find your podcast, YouTube.
I hear there's a really good episode coming up.
Yeah, I pushed it back one.
And then I will be on after.
Yeah, I pushed it further. So, Jason's always keep coming up, but I just keep pushing it back. Oh, yeah, he can wait. But no, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I mean, I hope you do it, once every 2 weeks.
There's a lot of editing because I understand. No more.
I'm with Alex on this one.
Oh, you mean us? You want
Yeah,
us to? I thought you were saying you were going to do your podcast every 2 weeks.
Don't burn out. Don't burn out. That's the thing. I don't want you to burn out.
I'm not going to.
Okay,
I'll just
I'm just
edit
saying.
it poorly.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so
anyways,
that was
all right. Well, thank you, man. It's good to see you as always. Check out his podcast and see you later.
All right, man. I got to be on Breaking News. Ah!
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a moment?
What's up?
Hi. I wanted to ask you a couple questions. We run a couple podcasts on YouTube.
Okay.
Are you familiar with YouTube?
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it? Okay.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Ryan.
And where are you from?
Florida.
Okay. So, yeah, he runs a podcast. Some people say it's a big deal. We run a smaller podcast. We're just curious if you've heard of it. Have
Joe
you ever-
Rogan?
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
This is my friend, Mr. Beast. No, have you ever heard of the A Fool podcast?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
What do you know about the A Fool podcast?
That Jabba was on it.
All right. Cool.
AKA Brickstar.
All right. Well, there you go. I guess point for you.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of Breaking News?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's not a good answer.
I'll take a maybe.
I'll go with no.
Would this, okay, since you don't know it, that's fine. Let me ask you if this would be something that interests you. A couple of middle-aged guys who talk about Lego.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Right.
They also talk about general life, getting old.
Yes.
Just kind of stuff like that.
It could be useful.
Does this
for me.
sound interesting so far?
Yeah, it could be useful.
What if they talk about another podcast and like what they do on their podcast? Is that interesting?
Can
or
we
would
just
that
like
be weird?
point at the sharks?
Yeah, we can look at these are sharks walking by. Not sure what's going on here.
My trash packs.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would a podcast interest you about a couple of middle-aged guys talking about Lego and life, eating snacks?
Yes.
Talking about what another guy wears on his shirt every day.
Right.
Is this something that would interest you?
Yes.
All right. Well, not that. That's the wrong thing.
Oh.
I have something for you. You can check it out. It's the Breaking News podcast. You can scan that if you'd like, or
Okay.
just use the sticker, or
Okay.
give it to a kid. Whatever.
Very nice.
So, and thank you for your time.
Of course. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
Like, comment, subscribe.
All right, so we have a community commentary on location. Sometimes we do these. I think we did one at Brick Slopes. I'm here with Chris.
Hey.
Now, are you with one of the lugs?
Windy City Lug.
Windy City Lug. I'm going to guess that's Chicago.
Yep.
Okay. And you have a microscale build.
I do.
When I saw you, you said that you were interested because of Alex's microscale. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
So we did the buildings last year. They're actually on 8x8 plates, so they all just kind of pop off. And we go to Dor County is a kind of a resort area in northeast Wisconsin.
Okay.
If you think of where the Green Bay is, it's north. It's like half hour northeast.
Okay.
So my family and I, we go up 2 or 3 times a year. So there's about 11 different towns that we visit in the whole county. It's like peninsula. And we started to build different small microscale models of each building.
So it's a collection from different parts of the county
Yeah.
in one build. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
we had 36 of them built for Brickworld last year. We didn't have the full map display. The map display kind of came up as an idea in October. So it was a total of 24 base plates for the entire display. For the most part, it's geographically correct with the way that the towns are located in the county.
Okay.
Some of the buildings have lights in them because we use them for a holiday display, but they're not wired up today. But yeah, we were building the different, designing them as we go. We were posting them and tagging the businesses, and got a lot of good feedback and ideas. And when we were here at Brickworld Chicago last year, we had a smaller setup with all the buildings. The people would just walk by and they would backtrack and like, I know that place, and they would talk about little memories they had. Like the ice cream shop is a real popular one. Everyone likes the bridge. There's a trolley company that has little trolleys that go across the whole peninsula and do tours, so those jump out real well. The lighthouses are popular. So
what do you find is the most challenging part in microscale?
The fun part for what I've had is that I've tried not to make it like the true like dimensions of the building. So I get to use a little bit of creative license to kind of square it up into an 8x8. So it gives me some freedom. The roofs were always the scariest part. So there are some patterns of like the same kind of roof styles on some of them. But I would start from the bottom, build up kind of a floor plan with the door and the windows, and then I would get to the roof and I would like sleep on it. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Some of these are kind of fancier with the dual angles on this side and then that side.
Yeah.
So there were a few. There are some that are kind of just seem like cop-outs with like the regular Lego slopes. But for the most part, I tried to make it a little bit, off-grid, dynamic, and.
Well, and sometimes when you're dealing at this scale, you're limited to the parts and the options you can do. Right? You need a small angle. You have very few choices.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I use a lot of jumpers, a lot of headlight bricks, a lot of the grill pieces. I grew fond of all the different grill slopes. So those get featured in a lot of the different buildings. Typically, each building was about 250 to 300 pieces, if you can believe it, just how cram-packed they all are. So the buildings themselves were all done digitally, so I could sit there and play and fiddle. When I'd order pieces for like this one, I would order tons of extra the plates with the door rail, so I'd have them for the next building, and you just start to accumulate the same maybe 20 pieces. So by the time we were doing the later buildings, we like had a lot of pieces on hand, and you could just kind of put them together right away.
And sometimes, do you find parts are a big issue? Like, oh, I just need one of the that's what I find when I'm trying to do it. And sometimes you either have to pivot or order and wait.
Yeah, order and wait a lot. I'll swap out colors if I'm looking for like a dark gray and I have black. I'll put in black ones, and then I'll order the gray ones and I'll swap them out. Part of me just doesn't like having them unfinished, like just laying around, so I'll finish them just to kind of see if I like the look, even if the colors are wrong, and then I'll swap out the colors.
You can at least tell if the angles are going to work and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
perfect. So one last question I have for you on this. Do you keep this displayed like on your dining room table, or
no,
is it put away while you're waiting for shows?
They are put away. We have a 2-bedroom condo. I have a 13-year-old hiding over there, so there's like no basement. There's no office space. It's all Mills plates. They're all 32 by 32. At most, I could work on 4 base plates at a time. So I have like little coffee tables throughout our living room where I can put like 6 base plates on the side. But it wasn't until about 2 weeks ago that I was able to put the whole thing together to kind of really just see it all
and make
at
sure
once,
it's working. Okay.
And then start filling in trees and trees and trees. We counted them up per base plate, and there's like 790 trees total.
Wow.
And there's like 8 different designs. So
and how many base plates are there?
24.
24 and that many. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a 24 equivalent. These are like the 16 by 16 plates, just kind of like plated together. But if you were to kind of fill in the gaps, it's 24.
Okay.
I started with the Brickworld table, which was 8 feet by 2.5 feet. So that was kind of my starting point of like how long I could make it.
Okay. And Are you on social media at all? Can people find
Dor County Bricks Instagram?
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much the main one.
That's mostly where stuff goes?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yes.
cool. We appreciate you sharing this with us, and this is really awesome. I know Alex is going to be jealous. He's just finished his
Smarty
micro,
City. Yep.
although I think he's ordered a couple pieces to polish a few things,
Yeah.
but pretty much he's done. So he was all excited, I know, to put it all together. So I think he is at least going to identify with what you're talking about. So
For sure.
appreciate you sharing this with us.
Oh, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Nice.
All right, so one of the things they do at Brickworld is the garage sale. So we're going to go in and brave the crowd.
We'll see you later, CJ.
All right, we made it. We survived. Jeez, it's crazy in there.
It's crazy.
Did you get anything?
I got a couple things. I forgot what I got.
You got the Hogwarts microscale.
Yes.
Not the big one, the smaller version.
smaller
For like 120, so that's
Yeah,
a
that
good
wasn't
deal.
bad, yeah.
And then you got, the Indiana Jones.
I got the Indiana Jones
fighter plane, the
airplanes.
old one.
Yep.
I got 20th anniversary Star Wars set. And 7 Oswalds. The army continues. So, all right. We got World of Lights coming up, so let's go check that out.
That'll be good.
Should be good. All right, so we have another individual that's volunteered to our survey. Can we get your name?
My name is Cassie.
All right, and where are you from?
I'm from Indiana.
Okay. So now we run a couple of podcasts on YouTube. Are you familiar with YouTube?
I am familiar with YouTube.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you ever watch any podcasts on there?
Sometimes I listen to this and
Okay.
watch some podcasts, yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Breaking News podcast?
Oh, I love breaking news.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you watch that. What about the A Fool podcast? Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
You've heard of that. What do you know about them?
It's my dad.
So do you watch it?
No. I hear about it enough. I don't need to watch it.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Of course. I love your podcast, and if I could get an autograph after this.
Yeah, we can
that'd
take a
be great.
photo.
Yeah.
Do you want him in it?
No, he's okay.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Right. Sometimes like some of the greens and oranges, they glow different. Yeah.
Even some of the clear case tribals.
Oh yeah.
All right, so they are just, you can see it's a little darker. They're just getting ready to start the World of Lights.
Yes.
It's the Saturday night for just the full convention attendees.
For the big deals.
Yeah, for him. And so they're going to turn out this last row of lights in a minute, and we're going to see all the displays lit up. So hopefully we can portray them for you on film.
Yeah.
Would you like a glow stick?
We're doing a little survey about YouTube and podcasts.
Okay.
Have you ever heard any of those kind of YouTube or podcasts?
A little bit.
A little bit. And your name, sir?
I'm Tim Hutchings.
And you're from?
I am now from Bartlesville, Oklahoma, but I was in Houston briefly until 6 months ago.
Okay. So have you ever heard of a little YouTube channel called, or a
very little
podcast called Breaking News? It's a podcast with Alex Nunes and the other guy.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I've heard. So things like old guys talking about some other old guy's shirts, and that he changes every day, kind of interest you? Those kind of things?
Well, I'm an old guy, so yeah. And I,
yeah.
So, have you heard of the A Fool podcast?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe. It seems like there's these couple of kind of annoying guys that talk
Could you
about
tell
really
us-
old Lego. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Please
yeah.
tell us which ones are the couple of annoying ones.
Well,
because there's three, so that means one's
there's
not.
one that has something to do with trains, and then
Yeah.
there's this other one, Jabo. Something, Brick Czar. I don't know.
I don't know why he has so many names.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those it'd be those two.
Yep. So, big fan of the YouTubes and the podcasts.
Yes, you guys are awesome. You really are.
Well, you are too, and you're a big deal. Lego Master, and you have your own YouTube channel.
I do. I haven't done much with it in a while, but I got to get back on track. But
where?
Tim's Brick Adventures.
Yes. Yep. So
I've been having a lot of adventures. I just haven't been recording them for a while.
That's good. Where are you going to be seen next?
Brick Rodeo.
Brick Rodeo?
My Western build is in.
Oh,
I've got my
I
big
see
Western
that.
build that I haul around, and it's in a museum in Alvin, Texas. So I'm going to go pick it up and drive it over to Austin, and then literally, if things work out right, I do Brick Rodeo, and then I'm taking it to Nashville to Brick Fan Expo.
Very cool.
And then from there, I don't know. I got several. Then we got Brick Fair, Virginia.
The big
that
one.
I helped set up. So I'll be working that show.
Yep.
So yeah, the summer's full.
Well, Tim, it's good seeing you again.
You too.
Yeah.
You too.
So you guys come check out Tim and all his travels and our podcast.
Absolutely. Number one. These guys know a lot about a lot. And I ain't lying. I'm being truthful.
No, Tim would never lie. No.
No, I
In
don't
our show,
lie.
we know a lot about nothing.
We know a lot about nothing.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
What?
Brickworld 2024 has come and gone. We'll be leaving tomorrow. So, how was your Brickworld experience, Joey?
I liked it. I mean, there's a lot of people here this year. It seems like more than I've ever remembered there being.
Yeah.
A lot of good mocks. Met a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all the people that came up and talked to me. And,
For sure.
And I even appreciate all the people come and ask where Brickzar was.
Yeah.
But it was a good.
We joke about that, but it was neat to see people come and like, oh, you're on the podcast
Yes,
with Alex,
it is.
or
Yes.
and I appreciated people coming up because that tells me they watch what we
They
do.
do, yes.
And that's appreciated, I guess.
is. I appreciate it,
So,
yeah.
says what we do. I guess someone thinks it is okay.
I guess.
It's worth spending time on, which I think is a big deal, right? So,
That's right. Yeah.
and you were a big deal. People saw you. I know. Anyway. Yeah. So no. Yeah. So it was super cool to meet you in person.
Well,
and I know people give me a hard time because I say super cool a lot. Sorry, but it was.
Well, it was. I'm very glad that I got to meet you and Tanya. yeah, I've had a great time. And I'm glad we're going to have to do it again.
We'll have to have you come to Brickslopes.
Well, I've
gotta
already
come out.
I've already mentioned it to Tanya. I've already mentioned it to my wife. So it won't be this year. I can't promise that. I know it won't be this year.
So it'll be this year.
But we're going to do the best we can. Hopefully the next year or so. So that'd be good.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, we'll keep doing interactive, stupid stuff on the YouTubes.
Yes.
And maybe you'll watch it, maybe you won't.
Well, let's hope I do.
And maybe, who knows, one day you can meet Alex. And I can meet Jabo.
Yeah. That would be big deals, right?
And I don't know, Earl, whatever. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, Earl.
So,
I haven't even met Earl yet.
I feel like I've met Earl every time I have internet connection problems. But that's just me.
Yeah.
So with that, we want to thank today's sponsor.
This segment of the Bricking News has been brought to you by the A-Full Podcast.
If you want consistent, prepared topics, that's not us.
If you want the latest, greatest news, we're probably going to be late.
If you want to be entertained, we will try.
But if you want to hear a few old guys talk about old Lego, and sometimes new Lego, every other week, then this is the place to be.
And if you don't forget it, like we just did, you may have actually learned something.
So rush on over to Brick Trains and catch up on all our exciting podcasts.
And remember, if you liked it, tell your friends. But if you didn't, tell your enemies.